Today, I'll be showcasing the top 10 rarest ghost shells currently in Destiny 2. I won't be including ghost shells from eververse, so every ghost mentioned in this list will either be attainable in-game or unlocked through some special offer. With that being said, let's get right into the ranking. Starting off at number 10 is the Sugary Shell, owned by 5.77% of players. This shell is pretty nostalgic, being that it's actually from Destiny 1. To get it in Destiny 2, you had to do every triumph associated with the Crimson Days event, which is pretty tedious, and Destiny events can get boring pretty fast. Coming in at number 9 is the Rarest Shell, owned by 5.28% of players. Actually a cool looking shell, looks like the Warlock helmet from Trials. This one drops randomly from winning Trials matches, and obviously it rarely drops. A completely RNG based ghost shell is just destined to be one of the rarest. At number 8 is the Armory Shell, owned by 2.84% of players. This one was obtained by completing the Niobe's Torment quest back in Season 5. I'm not going to go super in-depth on how the quest was done, but basically you had to complete Niobe Labs, which was one of the hardest puzzles released in all of Destiny 2 history. Coming in 7th place is the Empathic Shell, owned by 2.79% of players. This shell could be acquired from the Bungie Foundation. It costs 1,000 silver, and the proceeds went towards helping hospitalized children. I know that this one requires you to make a purchase, but I still include it on the list because basically it comes from donating money, not just buying a cosmetic. Coming in 6th place is the Gilded Shell, owned by 2.36% of players. This shell is awarded for donating $60 or more to Game to Give. Not sure if this one and the other promotional shells are still available or not, by the way. In 5th place is the Millennial Spade Shell. This one is owned by 1.74% of players and was acquired by earning rank up rewards from the Emissary of the Nine. A lot of the Trials of the Nine cosmetics are super rare, and this one's included. Trials of the Nine was so short-lived, and it was also during a bad time of Destiny 2's history, so no surprise this one's rare. It's also an extremely ugly shell. Coming in at number 4 is the Knight's Peace Shell, owned by 1.55% of players. This is another shell earned as a rank up reward from Trials of the Nine. This one is an exotic though, and looks 10 times better than the last shell. I'm assuming this one took more effort to get though, since it's rarer than the last one. Now, onto the top 3. Coming in 3rd is the Buoyant Shell, owned by just 1.3% of players. This was awarded for donating $50 or more to the Bungie Foundation Giving Campaign from July 7th to the 20th back in 2021. In 2nd place is the Tenderhearted Shell, owned by 0.7% of players. Apparently this one is also unlocked by donating $60 to Game to Give, but that doesn't make any sense because it's rarer than the Gilded Shell, which is awarded for the same thing. I don't know if maybe you had to choose between both shells or if people just never redeem this one. Coming in 1st place is the Hero's Wake, currently owned by just 0.18% of players. The shell was released this season and is obtainable from the Trials Flawless chest, but it's another RNG based ghost shell. Zero surprise this one's rare, being that it comes from Trials and randomly drops. As always, let me know if any of you guys own these shells and if you ever actually have them equipped, and I'll see you guys in the next video.